Do you say the music is loud?
The music's kind of loud, and why do we got rock playing, man? I mean, I
I don't
don't
know.
think
This was a you kind of choice. But look, man, did you catch the debate yesterday? I know you were probably busy, like receiving paychecks from the crypto.com boys, but like, did you manage to catch in
Good
between
one,
cashing
good
in
one.
those paychecks any of the debate last night?
Yeah, are we gonna ignore the loud music in the background? Like, is that
Yeah,
what
we're
we're
just
doing
gonna
right now?
ignore it. Yeah, we're just gonna just skip over
Okay,
the
let
like
me
it's
put
not
it
there.
down. Let me put it down. Let me put it down real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
First off, I want to congratulate the whole Hex community, not only for giving everybody shit to
But
actually
being
allow us to.
completely
Can I
decorrelated from the rest of the
finish?
market.
So congrats on Hex being so correlated from the entirety of the crypto market. But not only that, man, I'm actually proud of the community because they actually gave everybody shit once they announced that they're not going to live stream the debate. Everybody went crazy.
Oh,
I
it was
know we
beautiful.
did on Twitter,
Yeah.
and they kind of retracted, and we got Pulsechain. So Pulsechain, shout out to you, man, for actually you're moving the camera too much in the end, which we understand, but thank you regardless. It's better than nothing, man. But and yeah, man, what do you first? Why is there your host Brendan CEO messing temporarily on probationary intern?
Yeah, well, you can't even read. How do you expect to not be a temporary
I'm
probationary
waiting on it
intern
to show up.
if you can't even read? So, look, man, let's stick to what's important here. Let's just skip over that real quick and talk about the debate.
Let's do it.
Erica Wall versus Richard Hart debated last night. Look, man, it wasn't kind of like a regular debate. They did have kind of interruptions in between where kind of the documentary team would kind of suggest questions and that kind of stuff. But look, man, first impressions, what did you think of that debate?
Honestly, I think I wish there was a moderator instead of the producer that thinks he's all that. To be honest with you, there's a lot happening. He's screaming midway through, and there's no debate needs a moderator. So that's one. Two, I wish we talked about pulsion a little bit more instead of these recycled hexes, this or where's the intrinsic value of hex and this and this and that. We went through all of that shit. You like hex, invest in it. You don't like hex, don't run away. There's a lot of other Ponzi schemes out there you can get into, so it is what it is, man.
Are you even
But
using those ear pods? Like, are they just are they functional, or are they just there just to be there?
the earpods,
Yeah,
are you talking about the Apple ones with the
yeah,
noise
those
cancellation?
those
The
ones,
brand new
the
ones?
ones in your ears. Yeah.
Yeah, I am actually using them. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
just so
All
I
right.
can hear your stupid voice a lot better, and so I
Well, look,
can.
just to piggyback on a surprising good point you just made.
You just
Look,
through everything I was gonna say off the table, man.
oh
You
my, I'm
just
back.
kind of
I'm
like you
sorry. Go
just
ahead.
like, yo,
Finish your
how are
thought.
you so like you're actually very good at like for a CEO? I would say you're supposed to
I am
listen to the
very good.
people,
Thank you
man.
very much. I do appreciate that. So, as
You're
CEO,
actually
I want to
terrible.
delegate you to finish your thought.
Okay, so
Get
my
my
point
permission.
again with Eric, I think he is Eric or Erica, he, she, they, zer. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm walking a very thin line right now. But I think he's probably one of the most. He was arguing in good faith. He was kind of attacking too much because I feel like he has a lot of built up emotions towards Richard. But I do think it was look at the other debates that Richard had with people that like have like bad intentions coming into the debate. They have an agenda. This guy was actually trying to get information, although he tried to personally attack. But I do think he's one of the most, I guess, the one of the smartest people that Richard debated with a bit of good points out there that are worth discussing. So that's where I'm keeping that.
Yeah, look, so I've seen some of the other discussions Eric has had with Richard, and it seems like Eric is very much so inclined to question Richard's credibility. I think he brings in, his character into judgment, given all the money he's raised, but he does bring up some interesting points. And if I can perhaps bring up what I thought to be the most interesting point that Eric brought up, because like you mentioned, it was a lot of this hex is hex intrinsically valuable or not. This conversation has been had a million times. It's either you like it or you don't. What he brought up, which was new, which was the fact of the concern with pulse chain of minor extractable value, MEV. And for those of you who don't know, I'll attempt to kind of briefly describe it, where whenever you kind of send a transaction to the blockchain, there's a period or a meme pool in which a validator is waiting, in which your transaction is waiting before it's processed by a validator to the chain. And during that interim period, a validator can choose to kind of front run your transaction. They can kind of play some games. And so, given that Pulse Chain is not inflationary, it's deflationary, and validators only make income through transaction fees, they're not going to be making very much. And so, the argument, the criticism is that perhaps Pulse Chain validators are uniquely susceptible to playing games and perhaps exploiting certain MEV uh, considerations, given that they're not
Like other
receiving a
means
whole lot of income.
of being more profitable, like
Right, like they could
some
be susceptible to playing games and front running and kind of front running liquidations. There's a lot of MEV games you could play specifically because they're not making a whole lot in terms of transaction fees. So
definitely.
it's one argument. It's an open question. I don't think there's any true um, any way to answer it quite just yet, especially since the chain hasn't been up. Although testnet has been up for quite some time and working perfectly. And I think in response, and you let me know what you think. Look,
Mhm.
Richard brings up the fact that look, a lot of people bring up a lot of potential theoretical faults between Hex and Pulse Chain and other cryptocurrencies. And a lot of this can be described as a parade of imaginary horribles, where sure this could theoretically happen, but does this actually manifest? Is this truly a problem? A lot of the time it isn't, specifically when it comes to Hex. A lot of the potential selling of whales from or of the originators never happened. So Richard kind of chalks this up to parade of imaginary horribles. I don't know. What do you buy that argument?
Well, I think that the whole parade of imagine. I think we're in such a especially with Pulsion, what they're trying, what we're trying to achieve there. There's definitely nothing is perfect. Even if whoever is actually trying to build it, there will be bugs, and we all know that. Richard knows that. The whole community knows that. So I do think those you need smart people actually bringing up these kind of conversations to actually I'm pretty sure you maybe even from that debate Richard that kind of influenced them to go back to the developers and be like, hey, what do we think about this? How can we prevent that from happening? This and this and this and that. So I think these kind of conversations or these kind of theoretical problems that can come up on the blockchain, these are good conversations to have for us to actually because some of these some of these things could happen or but just might not really ever happen. So we're coming close to the launch and we're gonna see how that plays out. One thing of the other thing that I guess he brought up, which is obviously we're copying the whole chain and the state of the chain. Now we have we have Chainlink there. We have all these different protocols there, all these different nodes that are supposed to we need. For example, what he's trying to say is, let's say if we're looking at Chainlink as a node on Pulse Chain, is it going to perform as well? Don't we need the Chainlink developers to work on that on Pulse Chain? And the fact that Richard doesn't have these developers working on the Pulse Chain network, in Eric's opinion, that's gonna be a source of a lot of bugs since the developers that are working on Pulsion right now don't intrinsically know the Chainlink code properly on a different chain. Now they're not working on it. So I think that's one of the good points that I would say he brought up is these different projects that we're actually trying to have perform better on a better engine. Do we really need these developers to be on Pulsion or on Richard's team? I'm pretty sure he has his own he's gonna have his own strategy and approach to that. But that's one of the good questions, guys. Let us know in the comment section below. Do we need these, other protocols on Ethereum to be actually to come to Pulse Chain so they can build on there and make their, because they're the ones who know their
And to
products the
back the
most.
PRC20 copies,
Yeah,
yeah.
they know back them up and all that, or are they not gonna do that? Do we really need them to come in, or are we just gonna have a copied chain link and a random developer team gonna be developing that, or fixing whatever bugs or maintaining the blockchain or the node itself? That's one of the things that I would say. I think it's a very open-ended question, and there's a lot that can come up from that. So I wish the debate was a bit longer. I wish
I wish they hit on Pulsion more,
100%. I think that's what we all were waiting for, but I think there was a more cinematic approach to the debate rather than it being an actual debate that we're trying to
yeah.
achieve something by
They were
the
trying to
end
get
because
some
of the.
sound bites for the documentary.
Oh, of course,
Yeah, yeah.
producer was screaming every 2 seconds.
Yeah, he was
Like,
butting
give me
in,
this and give me
changing the
that.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a little bit of annoying. But yeah, look, man, I would ultimately agree that it's an open question whether or not, to what extent, the kind of pulse chain copies will have any value. Now, I think Richard's solution to that is the fact that he will be backing, or at least the argument is that the PRC20 copies will be backed in liquidity pairs with their ERC20 copies, and so that should theoretically give them some value. But again, yeah, if you know the
When you
Chainlink
say
team.
backed, are you saying backed by the developers or
No,
backed
like
by
like
the
literally in
transaction?
liquidity pair. So like
Okay.
there would be like an E link and a P link pair.
Right.
And so that should theoretically give it some value. But yeah, it's
Right.
an open question whether or not the Chainlink development team will come on to Pulse Chain, build out a front end, build out Oracle support, all that kind of stuff. It's an open
Right.
question.
Right.
And also, just to kind of finish off on perhaps the MEV point and any fundamental intrinsic flaw that Pulse Chain might have, we need to remember that Richard Hart owns 95% of the Pulse Chain supply in a proof of stake network, where he's going to be, last time I heard, the top 3 validators on Pulse Chain.
Mm-hmm.
So, should there be any kind of intrinsic flaw or attack on the Pulse Chain network, I mean, Richard could have just at any moment, at a whim, decide to fork the network. I mean, he's completely in control. So if there is kind of any fundamental problem, any kind of games being played with MEV, again, Richard is ultimately fully in control of the chain and can make any changes he wants and fork the network if need be. So I personally, even though there may be kind of some unknowns with MEV and issues surrounding that, ultimately speaking, Richard's in a position to fully control and fix any
Definitely.
issues that may
We're
come
gonna
up.
we're gonna have to see how that plays out, man. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's not gonna come up just so perfect. Everything comes out first couple of years. We're gonna work on some bugs. The market is gonna exploit some bugs, and that's just the way it is. That's what the way we've seen. Is it gonna be catastrophic or no? Richard's saying that he has a bunch of very good developers, and the reason for all these delays is because they keep finding out good bugs. So, that's something that we gotta see how it plays out when it comes up. And yeah, man. Besides that, I don't really think there was much to the debate. To be honest with you, I don't think it was. Was it worth the 20,000 tweets?
Yeah, look, in all honesty, I think I'm glad they live streamed it. It
Yeah,
wasn't
definitely.
anything too crazy at the end of the day. The funniest part I found was that at the very end of the debate, Eric Wall admitted that he likes Richard, thinks Richard is extremely intelligent, thinks what he's doing is awesome, and in fact was offering to buy some Pulse Chain. So you have one of the biggest Richard Hart, biggest hex Pulse Chain critics in the world, and he himself is offering to buy Pulse Chain. So that should
Definitely.
kind of give you a sense of kind of what's going on here, guys, where the
Right.
biggest critic himself is looking to buy this shit. I would not be surprised if he himself sacrificed for Pulse Chain and Pulse.
Of course, man. I think everybody that critiques what's happening is definitely a part of it. They understand that this could actually be something, and there could be a bunch of returns coming up from that, even if it blows off, in the first year, and there's like a big major bug. But I think a lot of people from the Hex community, I think Eric is smart. I think he also comes in good faith, and
A
especially
lot
with
of
the end
people
of
would
it,
disagree
because
with you, but
I know, but again, man, if it is what it is, I mean, like if you gotta ask questions, you gotta come in. He ended it with saying, "Hey, I think you're one of the smartest people." I mean, what else do you need, right? Like we had a debate and we crash course. Just tells you a lot about how there's a lot of emotions on Twitter. I think we're pretty familiar with that on our Twitter. I think we got into a bunch of back and forth with other people on
are you
Twitter
saying
like that.
grown men are very sensitive and will jump to
Look,
conclusions?
man. When I was a kid, man, I used to think once you hit, a certain age, you're all mature. But that's, I guess, a part of life. Yeah, I'm gonna get very philosophical here. And once you get to a certain age, you realize that everybody don't got it together, man. That's what it is.
I would
Not
agree.
everybody got it together. But I did like how it ended. I think we need more of that, and I think that energy in the end, we should have started the debate with it first. We should have started with love. you know, Richard drops his guard, Eric drops his guard, then Richard hit him with an uppercut, and we should have really ended it on that, man. But besides the fact, I kind of enjoyed it. Not up to my expectations, but I wish we talked about Pulsion a little bit more, man.
Yeah. Hopefully Richard comes on the channel and we can ask him about Pulse Chain.
I mean, we only put out 1,000 tweets
Well,
addressing that.
guys, this is what you got. You got to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon if you find new uploads. Because the more subscribers we get, the more likely Richard's to come on.
I think you just need to be a Playboy model, man. Isn't that what it is?
I mean, I'm fat. I got titties. Like, come on, Richard, hop on the channel. You got to
Stop
pull your
playing
weight,
games,
man.
man. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I don't know. Anyways, man. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Do whatever you gotta do, man. To support the channel. Make sure you leave your comments below. Let us know. Do you like Brendan's haircut, or is that something he needs to kind of go bald with? Because it's definitely something. He definitely got a haircut, man. I need a haircut. So, make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe.
Until next time, folks. Take care.